Nice work, Kroll. Oh, the tight end is really good. No way. Somebody. Wow, what a play. All right, we got a circle called. They don't like it. We're going to run up the middle. Here we go. Get it, Kroll. Maxwell is exhausted, but he is hot. Most of our offense is hot. This looks good. Looking at Cobbs down the middle. Maybe Guillory. Shoot, don't scoop and score. You're kidding me. Hey everyone, glad to be back with you here on Obscure Victories Gaming. We just finished up week 11, lost to Texas A&M 31-24 in a really close game. Had two opportunities late to come back, tie the game, put it in overtime, and unfortunately our O-line did not hold up. We had two sack fumbles to end the game. One of them returned for 6. So if you haven't seen that game, I know I just spoiled it, but head back, check that out. It was a pretty exciting end. Before we advance to week 12, I wanted to start this week's video here, again, just to see who's going to sign with us next week. I know we have a lot of guys that are close. So here we go. All right, so some big time recruiting news here. See if you can guess what it is before I unveil it here. We did lose out on Mike Woods. He ended up committing to Stanford. So I was hoping we could get him, into the offseason and sign him. So that's really disappointing. We've got another middle linebacker on the board that we're excited about, but Mike Woods just kind of brought, obviously, more talent to the board. But we wish Mike the best. It was great getting to know him, and we'll move on with the guys that are interested. You can see Tyler Gillette still in a battle. Haven't decided what to do with him yet. Tim Evans, sophomore, JUCO guy that, again, I'm not sure if we're going to stay on him or not. And then Harvey Allen is scheduled to visit this week. All right, another quick look at the top 25 here. So another shakeup. Pitt takes over number 1 after beating Wake Forest. Michigan State is up to 2. Oregon at 3. Bama at 6. Virginia Tech, Iowa, Oklahoma, Florida State. Everybody's climbing. Clemson and Tennessee loses to Missouri, so they end up at 10. Bonus points if you remember who was number 1 last week. Miami comes at 11, and Texas was 1 last week. They ended up losing to Baylor. That's a huge loss for them. USC beat Stanford. Ohio State's at 14. Penn State, that's a good rivalry game every year. It must have been a good matchup, but Ohio State won, moves up 4. Penn State loses, moves down 7. Michigan's up, Ole Miss is up, SMU is up. Missouri jumps all the way to 19 after beating Tennessee, and they were unranked before. Georgia Tech is down, they lost to Virginia Tech. Cal's up, Louisiana. Navy jumps in. FIU is down again, they lost to Tulsa. So they have 2 losses after a promising start. And then Notre Dame jumps in at 25. Terry Tidwell is leading the Heisman watch. Trey Zitch is up there. Jared Carter moves up. Justin Bryant goes down again after another tough loss. And then Corey Rogers is down at 5. Championship contenders, we are dropping. We lost 2 in a row. We're at 49. Although next year and the year after looks solid. And then 52 in 2023. We are bumped down to a B+. We were at A- before. But B+ we'll take that in this rebuild. Quick look at toughest places to play. Bama, Ohio State, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas A&M, USC, Oregon, Clemson, Michigan. I'm going to go a little bit faster here until we get to us. We should be in the 40s. Drop down to 43, so we're at a B. So a couple of our recruiting grades are taking a hit. These may not be the most important ones, but they're dropping nonetheless. So we got to do everything we can in the next 2 weeks to right the ship. All right, recruiting-wise, we got $13.50 to spend. I'm just going to go ahead and remove Woods from the board. That hurts. I really thought we could just stay in that one. But we do have Zach Harris. We're looking really good on. I'm going to go scout him again just to see if we get anything. Not much. Pursuit down to 66. Jeremy Hutchinson, JUCO athlete, again, really pulling away on. Hopefully we can get a visit in. It may be our bye week in week 14, but a visit in a bye week is better than no visit. So hopefully after this week we can get him in. Cedric Harmon, another JUCO. Again, same thing. Hopefully we can get him in for a visit for week 14. Tim Evans is ready for a visit. I'm going to scout him again. It's kind of nice later in the season you get a little bit more points to play with and scout these guys. We're going to hold off on Tim Evans, and I think we got some corners on the board that I would rather have over him, so he may come off the board. Josh Grant looks like we're going to sign. Gonna scout him, just make sure so jumping goes up. I mean, he's looking pretty solid. Catching, route running look really good. The speed is good. Acceleration is good enough. He can break some tackles, so he'd be a nice freshman to get in. Harvey Allen, again, we said we have a huge lead. He's coming in to visit this week. I'm going to keep scouting him. We'll see what we get this time. Strength at 73. I wish it would have been run blocking. That would have helped. You know, I think we've got 5 offensive linemen. We got these 3 guards, 2 JUCOs, and then Thad McCullough's a center, and then Clayton Crow will be offensive lineman as well. So Harvey Allen, you know, bringing in 6 offensive linemen seems like overkill. I'm going to take him off the board. It took me a while to get there. I make that decision, but I feel good about the 5 we're bringing in. Phillip Hines, another solid linebacker. Good speed, decent acceleration. Play rec is up there. He's got some man and zone coverage. We'll scout him again. 82 speed, we'll take that. Agility is all right. So again, hopefully we can get him in for a visit during our bye week. Mike Morris, JUCO, wide receiver. Again, with the wide receivers we have, and maybe Grant coming in, I don't know how smart it is to get Mike Morris. The only thing that's really tempting me is his speed. You know, he's got that A speed, B acceleration. We'll scout him again. Catching is good, or good enough. And as I look at our depth chart here, you know, we've got Ryan Waller, who's a JUCO junior that's redshirted. He's at 76 overall. Blount is out, but then our Blount and Cobbs are out. But then we've got Brandon Williams, Guillory, Bradshaw's our top 3. EJ Marshall, he'll probably be, you know, 77, 78 overall as a junior. And then we got Gore and Bailey, a redshirt freshman. So, and if we bring in Grant, you know, we're looking at 9 wide receivers. But I think as I'm building a program, it's hard to pass on that speed and that ability. So we're going to keep him on the board. We're going to get him a scholarship just to keep our options open. Kicking wise, again, Ross Washington and Brian Bullock. Our kickers we're really high on. You know, we've signed Mark Smith. We'll scout him. Well, it doesn't matter if we got him. So hopefully we can get Washington or Bullock. And if we sign both those guys, I'm fine, you know, cutting the 2 guys, because I think because the redshirt kicker that we have now isn't highly ranked. So we're going to scout Bullock. Acceleration doesn't help. We're going to scout Washington. It doesn't help. I'm going to pump both of them to 500 for now, and we'll see where that gets us. Oh yeah, after looking at these corners, I don't want to pump these guys to 5. We'll get them to 3 though. All right, Larry Dennis, junior college cornerback here. We're going to pump him to 500. Continue to move up his board, and then hopefully that puts us into first next week, and then we'll get a scholarship on him. Patton we'll put to 500. Minnesota's got a scholarship on him. We'll see. Eric James, get him to 5. Brian Fox will leave as is. Murphy looks like we're going to be out on. Louisville's after him. We'll take him off the board. Jason Anderson, again, a D-end. Not sure how I feel about getting this guy, you know, with Andy Allen redshirted. Definitely don't want to send him the message where he might not get playing time and he transfers out. Gillett, I think we're out on. There's too many points I think we're going to be losing. Quentin Payne, had him on the board. I took him off after we signed the other 2 guys, then put him on later. But Missouri is going to go after him pretty hard, so we're out on him. Maurice Johnson is the guy I added late just to kind of experiment. You know, could we make up enough ground with him being, I think it was like mid-60s locked last time, but looks like San Diego State's going after him pretty hard. San Jose State, I mean, those teams are even with us, so I'm going to try to get 500 on him somehow. But let's move on to the next 2 guys. First, Alfred Lawrence, middle linebacker. Again, he's got the speed. That's all I'm looking for right now with middle linebackers or any linebacker. And then JUCO strong safety David Robinson, not to be confused with the dominant center from the San Antonio Spurs. But we're looking good on him, and I've got to find a few more points to get on Maurice Johnson and see if we can just stay in this battle or get into the battle. So I think with the corners we have, I'm going to drop on Tim Evans. We've got Larry Dennis I'm feeling good about. We've got to make up a lot of ground. May go into the offseason. Patton, we're going to be gaining 90 if Minnesota doesn't adjust. James are looking good on, and Brian Fox. So that means I can dump more points into Maurice Johnson to kind of see how this plays out. And then I do want to get Johnson a scholarship. So we just took 50 off that punter. We'll get him a scholarship. I know we're way behind, but let's see what we can do there. And then the visit-wise, Tim Evans, I think just, again, keep our options open. I'm going to give him the Week 14 visit. And then I'm not going to add any more guys to the board. I feel good about the ones we have on and where we stand with all of them. So that's going to be it for recruiting. All right, Utah State is coached by Mike Gundy. Must have got let go by Oklahoma State. But their offense is going to be the Oklahoma State air raid. They're going to run slightly more. They're going to be more conservative. So I got to be ready, again, for screens and draws. Defensively, they got 4-2-5. Defending run and passes, pretty balanced. And they're going to be fairly aggressive. Again, with zone coverage, I think is the first thing that gets adjusted for aggressiveness. So they're going to play down closer to the line of scrimmage. Mike Gundy is a level 43 coach. They get all the in-game bonuses here. Again, the biggest ones I think are going to be clean laundry, light a fire again mostly at the end of the half when they call timeouts. They'll be able to predict plays, although again, I don't know how much that affects the AI. And then late in the fourth, they're going to be pretty clutch. Defensively, coached by Lyle Hemphill, and enough bonuses here to bump up their players, so we got to be aware of that. Offensively, they got Tim Polasek. Quarterbacks can get a big bump. Receivers, runners get a slight one. So, again, not the highest rated offensive coordinator, not the most boosted their guys, but that's enough to make this competitive, I think. All right, defensively, they're led by redshirt senior Edward Wade, 88 overall, great speed, acceleration, 88 tackle, coverage, low 80s, which is good. Good pursuit. He can press, and he can jump. He can shed some blocks as well. So look for him to defend the pass well and also support in the run. Stat-wise for Edward, 4 tackles for a loss, 1 sack, and 1 pick. So 4 pass deflections. Next we got Matt Bennett, redshirt junior. Good size at 6'7", 280. 84 overall. Good speed, acceleration off the edge. Good strength, tackle, power move, finesse move. Not elite, but that's good enough. Block shedding's up there. Pursuit's good, and the hit power's at 92. Stat-wise, 20 tackles, 7 for loss, 2.5 sacks only. He's got a pass deflection and a forced fumble. Next, I got redshirt senior Reggie Harris, left outside linebacker, 82 overall, 82 speed, good enough, 89 acceleration, 83 tackle, good play rec, block shedding, pursuit's a little bit low, zone coverage, man coverage good. He's got incredible hit power. Got some strength, some power moves, finesse moves. Stat-wise, 26 tackles, 3 for loss. Got 1 pick, 2 deflections, 3 forced fumbles. There's that hit power coming through. All right, last on defense, we got their star player, Eric Clark, redshirt senior. Good size for a linebacker at 6'3", 230. 80 overall, 85 speed, 87 excel, that's fast enough. Good tackle, play rec, block shedding's really good. Pursuit is okay, zone coverage, man coverage is down. At 94 hit power, and he's got decent strength. Stat-wise, 26 tackles, 15 for loss, 4.5 sacks, 1 pick, 4 pass deflections, and he's recovered a fumble. Offensively, we got true sophomore Chris Watson, 83 overall, 86 speed, 91 excel. That's pretty good for a receiver. Agility might be a little bit low, but he's got great catching, route running, catching traffic, spec catcher up there, good jumping. He's got decent release, but after he catches the ball, his skill set is pretty low. Stat-wise this year, 43 catches for 464 yards, 10.8 average, 4 touchdowns, got a long of 39, and then he averages 51.6 yards a game. Next, they got quarterback Vincent Burke, 82 overall, good speed, acceleration. He's going to be a dual threat guy, good awareness, throw powers down, throw accuracy's okay. He can break some tackles though. He's pretty elusive, carrying is low. Hopefully we can get a big hit on him and forced a fumble. Passing wise this year, 126 of 253 for 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns, 9 picks. A lot like Theo Cruz this year. Only 172 per game. Longest pass of 72 though, that's impressive. He's been sacked 12 times, so once per game. Hopefully we can keep that up. Rushing wise, 152 attempts for 789 yards, 5.2 an attempt, 87 yards a game. So this guy's going to run. He's got 9 rushing touchdowns. Wow. Longest rush of 46, but he's only got one of more than 20. 25 broken tackles. He's fumbled 3 times. Next we got tight end Justin Oliver. 6'7", 257 for a tight end. He's got good speed, good acceleration, especially for a guy that size. Good awareness. Catching is really good. Catching traffic is up there. Route running is great. Pass blocking, run blocking, good enough. And he's got good enough strength as well. Stat-wise, he's got 38 catches for 491 yards, 12.9 per reception, 4 touchdowns, long of 68, and no drop passes this year. All right, and last offensively, we got Mike Humphrey, redshirt senior, 81 overall. Speed, acceleration, nothing great, but it's good enough. Good awareness, catching's up there. Route running is really good. Catching traffic's pretty good. He got some spec catch and jumping. Release is okay. Not much after the catch, maybe a little juke move. Stat-wise, 24 catches, 259, 10.8 a catch, 5 touchdowns, 28.8 a game, and he has 2 drop passes this year. All right, let's check out the depth chart, see if we can find any weaknesses. There we saw Burke at 82 overall. Backup at 68 overall, no speed, no acceleration. Running backs are going to be 71, 70. Speed is okay, acceleration is low, but again, we can't really underestimate a running back with the sliders that we've got. Fullback, nobody uses. Wide receivers, you got Watson, Humphrey, Thibodeau at 73, Oliver jumps in, Fields, and then Johnson. Tight end, we saw Oliver. Backup looks good, and then the third guy looks decent as well. Left tackle goes 78. Left guard, 67. He's injured though, so then Fowler's in. But Fowler's injured, so maybe Nick Scales takes over. Either way, not that great. Ahmed Jackson's injured. Fowler's injured, so maybe one of their tight ends plays. I don't know, I'll have to see how that shakes out. Right guard goes 80. Right tackle at 79. Left end only 73. Right end we saw 84. D tackle 77 freshman. Wow, that's a good get for them. They go 4-2-5, so these two will be on the field. Good enough. Left outside linebacker, we saw Harris, but he doesn't play, I think, the 4-2-5. Middle linebacker is going to be Cook. Yeah, and then this guy's an impact player, so he plays. Eric Clark, right outside linebacker. Cornerback's not that great, 72, 71, 70, 67. So hopefully we can take advantage of that. Free safety goes 69. Strong safety, we saw Wade, and then Cook jumps in, and they're 4-2-5. So I'm not sure who fills in. Maybe it bumps to Harris here. Kicker solid, 87. Punter, freshman, 72. Kick returner is going to be Justin Fields. He's injured. Then we'll get to Chris Watson. And then long snapper is Cedric Harrison. All right, this has been the event wheel. Let's see what's happening with our team this week. All right, so kind of a boring one here. Punt and kick accuracy to 75%. So I guess we'll take it. Let's see what we get next. All right, second spin gives us computer run D to 75%. So that's really going to help them. I thought we had an advantage there, but that'll maybe mitigate that. We'll see. But we'll go ahead and make those changes now. All right, week 12 prep is in the books. We recruited, we scouted, we spun the event wheel. Game plan wise, it may be tougher now with their run D up to 75%. We'll have to maybe watch that. But remember, Sean Maxwell is our starting quarterback for the next 3 weeks. So that'll take us into the bowl game before we get Andy Smith back. And maybe we continue to rock with him and we just give him that experience depending on how it goes. But I think we're still going to rely on the run and then just pick our opportunities to pass. I think we outrank them in most categories. I mean, it's not by a lot, but enough to make me feel confident that we could maybe pass a little bit more. We saw their secondary wasn't great, so I just have to be aware of that as we're going. Pay attention to, if they're stopping us in the run, we got to be able to mix it up and go to the pass. I think we can be that flexible, which hasn't happened very often this season. So make sure you tune in to the next video for gameplay. But until then, keep gaming, keep growing, and keep celebrating those obscure victories. Game on.